What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Let's go ahead and get into this abysmal garbage trash known as Monday Night Raw. For June is the 26th, 2023, the go-home show to Money in the Bank. This show pissed me off in more ways than you could ever imagine. I was pissed. I'm talking about the Carmelo Hayes situation. We will discuss that when we get there. Let's just go ahead and get in. All right. We kicked the show off with Dominik and Rhea Ripley. They're in the middle of the ring. So the fans start to boo Dominik immediately as he tries to speak. Dom and Rhea then knock Cody. And Rhea says Cody's momentum has been slowing down, and at Money in the Bank, Dominik will. And then out comes Cody Rhodes. He comes out to a big home state pop, which is great. Cody says he knows what Dominik was trying to do, so he'll do it for him. Cody welcomes everybody to Monday Night Raw and gets a big pop. Rhea then accuses Cody of bullying Dominik and warns that Dominik is very dangerous. Dominik keeps whispering shots at Cody for Rhea to relay. Cody quotes The Cat in the Hat and says he's quoting a kid's book because that's what Dominik is. He's a scared little boy. Dominik and Rhea hop off the apron. They exit. So Cody then invites Dominik to come back into the ring and get a free shot at him. Cody also mentions that he'll face Damian Priest in the main event later on in the evening. Like I said before, Cody offers Dominik a free shot. Dom gets on the apron. I think he says, fuck this, I think he says. He changes his mind. He joins Rhea on the stage. Cody says, Dominik's cheap shots have had an impact, but things will be different on Saturday. Cody wants to see if Dominik is half the man his father is or if he's mommy's little boy. So I do like that little line right there at the end. That was great. Really good stuff there. Again, I'm not high on Dominik and Cody at Money in the Bank. I actually feel bad for Cody. Cody really should actually be in the Money in the Bank. In my opinion, you could easily slot one of the guys out and add Cody into the match. That's what I would have done, so we can finish the story. And now we have to wait until Brock comes back around SummerSlam to face Cody. And I doubt that we'll see an appearance from Brock at London. It's just not going to happen. But if I was booking things, I would actually force Brock to show up at Money in the Bank. I would do Cody and Brock 3 at Money in the Bank. Have Cody win. You could do that earlier on in the night. And I would have found some way to get him into Money in the Bank. That's what I would have done. But it seems like they are dead set on Cody and Roman at WrestleMania 40 next year. That's what they're probably going to more than likely do. Because the Usos, they're going to be tied up in the Bloodline Civil War for most of the summer and probably a little bit in the fall. So where do you slot Cody in after he defeats Brock at SummerSlam? I don't know. I mean, you could still do a trade if you wanted to, but I don't know. Make it make sense, man. All right, moving on. First match of the night. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ricochet. Ricochet gets the win via the Shooting Star Press. Bronson Reed was out there just to watch earlier on in the match. He got ejected by the ref. I've been hearing a lot that people are saying that Ricochet deserves better. Look, Ricochet is in a decent spot. He's in that mid-card spot. That's where he's going to remain at, and that's just his ceiling, you know? Let's just be honest. Even when he was in NXT, he just held a couple tag titles as well as the NXT North American Championship. You know, he's just a really solid, decent mid-card, and that's just what he is. That's his ceiling. Even if he were by some chance to get released and go to AEW, he would still be in that mid-card range. Now, I think that he will become world champion in like an Impact or an NWA or maybe a New Japan or something like that. Maybe in New Japan. But more so with Impact, MLW, and NWA, like they'll give anybody the title. Like those promotions will give anybody the title. So that's the only way that Ricochet becomes a world champion, is like through Impact or MLW or NWA. Moving on. So Byron Saxton's backstage talking to Matt Riddle. He's saying that Matt Riddle's saying that he'll take Gunther's Intercontinental Championship at Money in the Bank. Matt Riddle's backstage with Byron Saxton now. So Saxton asks if this match is smart considering the beatdown Matt Riddle took last week. Riddle says he's sick and tired of Gunther hiding behind his friends, and then Ludwig Kaiser interrupts and they have some words. Riddle points to last week whenever Kaiser, and Kaiser says that'll never happen again. Riddle then decks Ludwig Kaiser, and then they have a little brawl. Kaiser takes Riddle to the floor and holds him as Gunther shows up. He accepts the challenge, and Gunther stomps on the ankle of Matt Riddle, who screams out in pain. So this is okay. Moving on. So Dominik Mysterio and Rhea Ripley, they enter into Adam Pearce's office. Dom says he wants a match to show Cody Rhodes what he has coming to him at Money in the Bank. Dominik has the perfect opponent in mind who matches his size and skill and worthy opponent. Rhea whispers in Dominik's ear, and he says he'll get back to Adam Pearce on that. So it ends up being Akira Tozawa. So there's that. Next, we got a really long Money in the Bank video. I don't know why we got that. That must have been like a Vince thing or whatever, or Triple H thing. I don't know. It's kind of dumb because that lasted like 3 minutes. And I hate when they do stuff like that. Like, save that stuff for the pay-per-view, man. Seriously. We're on time cues here. Like, I could see going over the men's and women's Money in the Bank match for a solid maybe 60 seconds, and then that's it. And then go back to the action. But that thing was at least close to 3 minutes. And I got kind of upset with that. I don't like that. This leads us into Ronda Rousey versus Raquel Rodriguez. Ronda Rousey wins via... she turned her armbar into a pin for the 1-2-3. Who really cares? I have no hopes for Ronda and Shayna with them being tag champs. It's not going to really do anything. Who cares? You might as well just burn the titles, if we're being honest. I hate to say it, man. This second Ronda Rousey run has been nauseating and nauseous at the same time. I hate it. I'm honestly ready for her to have another kid and just to ride off in the sunset. That's just me. Like, seriously. It's like she doesn't care. I get that she's, she doesn't want to be in the main title picture and all that jazz. I get that. But the tag titles have been dead on arrival since they were made. And they haven't had any real teams since Sasha and Bayley. And Sasha is no longer there. So, I don't know, man. Moving on. We get a really good promo by Finn Balor. So, Balor says Rollins laughed at him when he was at his lowest moment, and he'll never forget that. Balor is not bitter, but Rollins made him this way. Finn Balor says fans worship the ground while Rollins walks on. He says they love his ridiculous outfits, and they sing a stupid song, but none of that matters to Finn, as he only cares about vengeance and the title. Balor says after 7 long years, and after everything Rollins took from him, he's about to take it all back, and the only music that Seth will hear is the ringing in his ears as Balor is declared the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and that will be a bitter pill for Rollins to swallow. So, that's a good little promo right there. I dug that. This leads us into our next segment. Seth Rollins, he comes out. He sings his song. So, Rollins does his usual welcome to Monday Night Rollins stick. He introduces a very important special guest, that being NXT champion Carmelo Hayes. He's in front row by himself with no Trick Williams, which is kind of weird, because Trick and Melo were on SmackDown a few weeks ago together. So I don't know why Trick wasn't there. I have no idea why. Not a good sign. So Rollins thanks Carmelo for having his back on NXT last week, and tells him to beat bum-ass Corbin tomorrow night. Seth Rollins addresses Finn Balor, and he says he's still standing after the sneak attack on NXT. Rollins is tired of talking and doesn't want to wait until Money in the Bank. He calls Balor to come to fight. Fans sing Rollins, but Rollins says that won't bring him out. Seth goes on knocking Balor. Rollins says he admits he's not 100% now and won't be 100% in London. He goes on and promises Balor's best version will not be good enough for Rollins' best version. Rollins says this will be a bitter pill for Balor to swallow, because Rollins is the visionary, the revolutionary. He's Seth. And then out of nowhere, Finn Balor appears in the ring with a steel chair. Him and Rollins, they have a little brawl. Balor then throws Rollins to the outside, throws him into the edge of the announce table. Seth sells his ribs. Balor goes to grab for the chair again, but Carmelo snatches it out. The fans pop big for this. And then Rollins takes advantage and sends Balor to the timekeeper's area. And then Balor runs away. Okay, pretty good stuff here. Pretty good stuff. Moving on. So, we see a video about what happened with Tommaso Ciampa and The Miz last week. So, Ciampa is backstage with Byron Saxton, asking why he attacked Miz. So, Ciampa talks about how Miz didn't contact him once while he was injured. People warned him about Miz, and they were right. Ciampa says he thought about a lot while being injured, which was a blessing in disguise. Like who are his friends and enemies, and most importantly, why he's wearing a neon shirt and playing second fiddle to The Miz. Ciampa says this time he will create his own opportunities. So this leads us into Tommaso Ciampa versus The Miz. It doesn't happen. Ciampa comes out, makes his entrance. The Miz beats down Tommaso Ciampa. He does a skull-crushing finale. And then he talks some trash to Tommaso's face. And that was it. So, that's fine. They'll probably do the match next week. Who really cares? I don't know where Johnny Gargano is. He's been missing in action 2 weeks in a row. If the plan is for Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano to take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, we need to go ahead and start building that. You don't have long. You only have a month. You only have a month. You have a month and like a couple days. Then you need to go ahead and get started on that ASAP. Moving on. Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser there backstage talking about the title defense against Matt Riddle at Money in the Bank. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they show up. And the two teams, they have some words. The champs ask if they like it when they're interrupted. A jab at how they were interrupted a few weeks back. Kevin Owens says they're here for a reason. Sami says it's because of what they did to Riddle tonight. Kevin Owens doesn't care about Matt Riddle, but Sami convinces them that they do care. They have a couple more words with Kaiser and Gunther. Kaiser says Gunther may have to teach Sami a lesson like he did Owens a few weeks back. Kevin Owens says he learned nothing from the ring general. He starts to scream and have a little spaz moment. And Sami says it took all of Imperium to beat Kevin Owens. Sami proposes a singles match with Gunther. Gunther says if Sami wants to ride his coattails like Riddle, then be his guest. Sami says he will. And then the tag champs walk off. That's fine. Next, Dominik Mysterio versus Akira Tozawa. Dom wins via the frog splash. Who really cares? Moving on, we get a useless promo backstage by the Viking Raiders in Valhalla. Valhalla says the gods have not spoken in weeks. And to hear them again, they must do terrible things. Soon they will punish Alpha Academy, and when they are suffering, the gods will speak again. This will be beautiful. It will be beautiful. No, what will be beautiful is when you guys are sent packing and going somewhere else. Whether that be back to Ring of Honor, where they came from years ago, or to Impact or whatever. But this WWE thing is not working out. No. Moving on. Next, we get the Women's Money in the Bank Summit. So, Corey Graves enters the ring. The ring's full of ladders. Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch are the only two to make their entrances. So, Bayley talks about how she will win, but reminds Io there is only one person that can win. And says us now. That's a brief tension there. So, Zelina Vega is tired of damage control, dismissing everyone else. Zelina Vega puts over Becky Lynch and says she's done it all, but win Money in the Bank. Zelina Vega calls Zoe a groupie and Trish a legend who has never been in a ladder match. Vega calls herself the future Miss Money in the Bank. Bayley laughs and says she has no chance. Zelina Vega hushes damage control up and says she'll prove everyone wrong. When she and Santos Escobar bring the briefcases home to the LWO, Bayley and Io yell at Vega, but Zoe and Trish cut them off as fans chant for Becky. Trish goes on talking trash to everyone and asks Becky if she'll be man enough to thank Trish when this match is over. Becky attacks Trish, and Zoe double team her into the corner. Becky sends him to the floor. There's a massive brawl that breaks out. Io's about to climb the ladder, but she then does her big moonsault. This allows for Becky to climb up the ladder and do the briefcase pose. She, unhooks the briefcase. Who really cares? My only two picks to win the Money in the Bank match, number one being Io and Zelina Vega. That's it. Everyone else is just there just to be there. And they're all feuding with each other. So why would either of those ladies win? Becky's not winning. Trish's not winning. Zoe's not winning. And Bayley's not winning. So there is that. I know people are like, well, Zelina Vega's not going to win. You don't know that. There's a possible chance she could win, if we're being honest. If Io does not win, who are you going to give it to? You're not going to give it to Becky Lynch, and you're not going to give it to Bayley. So why would you do that? And Trish does not need it anyway. So you don't need that. Moving on. So Kathy Kelly's backstage with Carmelo Hayes. She asked about facing Finn Balor tonight. Carmelo says he was invited here by Seth Rollins, and it's an honor to be on Raw. Carmelo goes on praising Rollins and says tonight he will take care of the Finn Balor problem. And if he has to go out in a blaze of glory, so be it. Carmelo says, you have to take shots to make shots, and tonight he will not miss. And then he walks off. Next, Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Very, very good match here. Enjoyed most of it. In the end, Giovanni Vinci comes out. He's on crutches. He hits Sami in the throat. That allows for Gunther to hit the powerbomb for the 1, 2, 3. And then post-match, Matt Riddle comes out. He beats up Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. And then he stands tall with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Yawn. Not really that important. Some people online were saying that it's a ruse that Giovanni Vinci was hurt, but it's not. No. So, moving on. Carmelo Hayes versus Finn Balor. Now, you would think in this match that we would have a no contest, right? Or a double countout, right? None of those things happened. What happened is Carmelo ended up losing clean to Finn Balor. And that made me want to throw my TV out the window. Why? Carmelo had no business losing at all. Carmelo had no business being in the match. There should never be even been a match between the two of them. If you're going to do something like that, you should already have in your mind that you're going to bring out a couple of people and do a no contest. That's what they should have done. They didn't do that. I was thinking in the back of my mind, surely Baron Corbin's going to come out. Surely Seth Rollins is going to come out. Neither of those two things happened. And that is absolutely stupid. I feel bad for Melo. It makes zero sense. Zero sense. Forgot to mention this, but I'll go ahead and mention it now. So we had a segment involving the Alpha Academy. So everyone's working out. So Gable is more like the coach. Gable ran to the Viking Raiders and asked if they're questioning his coaching abilities. Maxine says she stopped Valhalla each time and she's ready for anything Valhalla has, thanks to Gable. Gable mentions the Vikings possibly showing up next week to confront them. Gable asks Otis what the plan is. Otis says pure carnage. Okay, cool. Kathy Kelly is backstage with Natalya. Oh, boy. After we see how Rhea beat her down last week, Kathy asks Natalya how she's doing. Natalya says she signed up for this life, and Rhea is a part of it because she's on top. Natalya says her battles are not out there; they're in her head. Natalya isn't worried about failure. She's been broken down and shaken, but she's still here, still standing. She challenges Rhea to bring the title and face her next week. Natalya says there is no one in WWE who can erase what she's done. And I'm just like, TJ, my man, can you please knock this girl up or adopt something? Make this chick a backstage producer. I am so sick of Natalya. Get her the fuck off my television. Quick, fast, in a hurry. But I'm still pissed that the match between Finn Balor and Carmelo Hayes happened. It never should have happened. Unless you were going to go for the no contest finish, which I would have been fine with. Nobody wins, nobody loses. Simple as that. Moving on. Cody Rhodes, he's backstage with his dog Pharaoh, playing with Pharaoh. Cody talks about Damian Priest and Dominik Mysterio and hopes there's a day where he can talk about something else. Cody goes on and says while Dominik has hit him with cheap shots, he will not have any stablemates on Saturday. Cody says he has not laid a finger on Dirty Dom, so he guesses we'll see what he's made of. And then Cody walks off. This leads us into the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest, which I didn't watch. Once Carmelo lost, I just said, screw it, I'm done. So Cody ends up winning via the crossroads for the 1, 2, 3. Who really cares? Not that important. Dominik comes out post-match. He cheap shots Cody, then he runs away. And then Cody's a little bit pissed off, and then we go off the air. That was it. That was Raw. Who cares? I mean, you don't care about Carmelo. I mean, why is he losing? He's a champion. Your champions should not be losing in any promotion. I don't care if it's Impact, MLW, AEW, WWE, doesn't matter. New Japan, doesn't matter the promotion. Your champions should not be losing in non-title matches. If they're going to lose, have them lose at the pay-per-view. Once you have a contender crowned, it is that simple. This show was absolutely atrocious. But what did you guys think? Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.